to students for several years. So we are having such departments, so many departments like departments of dentistry. In that we have graduation, post graduation, both of it. And post graduation is 9 branches we are having in dentistry, and we are having a department of law which is organizing our this summit, and we are having a department of pharmacy. We're having department of nursing, and we are having department of education, and B.Ed and M.Ed is there, management is there. So this institute is just having a good qualified teachers and professors to lead the students in a leading direction. So along with the Swami Devi Dayal, we have the privilege of partnering with the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, headed by esteemed Dr. Harbeen Arora. And this WICCI that has made a significant impact in driving inclusive growth and diversity across industries. Today, again, we gather here from different time zones and corners of the world to commemorate an important global observance, that is World Population Day. So this annual event serves as a reminder of the pressing need to address the challenges and opportunities which are associated with the world's population growth. So it is a day of reflection and action where we came together to explore solutions and contribute to the achievements of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, that is SDGs. So throughout this summit, we will have the privilege of hearing from esteemed keynote speakers who are expert and thought leaders in their respective fields. Their insight and expertise will provide valuable perspectives on the significance of World Population Day and SDGs, offering guidance on how we can work together to address the challenges and create a brighter future. So now I invite Dr. I want to say Professor Dr. Richa Ranjan, Director, Principal, and Dean of Swami Devi Dayal Law College, Panchkula, to accord a formal welcome to dignitaries. She has already organized many world conferences and international and national conferences. This global summit is the initiative taken by her to make global platform global platform open for all out to speak on SDG goals. So welcome, ma'am, to this platform. Please, ma'am, you can proceed further.
Thank you, Dr. Shavi. Thank you so much.
Welcome,
A very good evening to all. Namaste from India.
Yeah.
Yesterday also I started with these words, and today again we'll start with same words. The world is not a gift from our ancestors, but a loan from our children. Save it and don't overpopulate it. Welcome all to this momentous occasion where the world converges to shape a brighter future. Swami Devi Dayal Group of Professional Institutes, Panchkula, is celebrating World Population Day with WICCI Wiki UT Chandigarh, and it was for 4 days from 11th to 14th in hybrid mode, offline plus online. Yesterday, we had our inaugural online session with international and national delegates for 4 hours. And today we are commencing valedictory session of our global summit on SDGs goal. Once again, I thank our management from Jindal Group, President Mr. Ashok Jindal, Vice President Mr. Motilal Jindal, and General Secretary Mr. Amit Jindal, and Dr. Harbeen Arora and Ms. Deepika for providing us such a huge platform on SDGs goal. The SDGs are comprehensive set of goals established by the United Nations to guide nations and organizations in creating a more sustainable and equitable future for all. These goals encompass a wide range of areas, including poverty, education, quality education, poverty eradication, gender equality, climate action, and many more. Each goal represents a crucial aspect of a collective endeavor to build a better world. As we convene here, we all should remember that pursuit of sustainable development is not an isolated endeavor, uh, but it is shared responsibility that demands our unwavering commitment and resolutions. I welcome today's chief guest, who is remarkable and dedicated. Education is an educational journey is truly admirable. Professor Dr. Dhurender Kaushik, former Vice Chancellor from Sikkim Professional University, and he had taught laws in Malaysia as well as Nigeria. Welcome, sir. I welcome Dr. Anita Kepris, today's guest of honor and keynote speaker. Uh, she is having much captivating speaking skills and knowledge. She makes the event lively. And I'll welcome Miss Tiana. I think she hasn't joined yet, who is also the guest of honor of the day, and she's the resource person. And she's already done these summits before. And I welcome Ms. Deepika Bahari, guest of honor, President Wiki UT Chandigarh Council. She is CEO of Antrajal Digital Marketing Company. Now we are having other international guest of honors and keynote speaker. She is Dr. Smiley Mukta, global icon, sustainable development queen, TEDx speaker from USA. As it's midnight over there, she'll be joining us later. And we are having with us Dr. Patricia Gonde, who is guest of honor and keynote speaker of the day. She is into educational field and plays pivotal role in shaping the future for students. Her dedication to education and innovative teaching methods are commendable. And now it is now my great pleasure to welcome distinguished keynote speakers and national delegates. Each of these remarkable individuals hails from different countries, bringing with them a wealth of knowledge, expertise, and unique perspectives. We are having 10 to 20 speakers from international standards, international delegate. Then we're having national delegates. A few are the students and few are the faculty members from the other institutes as well as our institutes. And their contribution will undoubtedly inspire and ignite meaningful discussions that will shape the future of our event. We extend a heartfelt gratitude to everyone over here on this platform, national and international delegates, for joining us and taking the time to be a part of this memorable occasion. Without further ado, let us welcome and embrace the wisdom and expertise. I once again welcome our chief guest and guest of honors of the day, and hope this global summit will uh, make our dreams true, and may our endeavors be fruitful and our impact everlasting. Thank you.
Let me introduce the chief guest. So Dr. Kaushik doesn't require any introduction, but a few lines about the Dr. Kaushik. Today we are having dynamic personality who is highly accomplished in their field and has achieved significant milestones, a visionary with a valuable insight and knowledgeable with perspectives on emerging breeds and opportunities. He is former Vice Chancellor of Sikkim Professional University, visiting Professor of Law in Malaysia and National Open University in Nigeria. Now, I invite you, sir, to please say a few words.
Hello.
Welcome, Dr. Kaushik. Welcome,
Yeah.
sir.
Namaskar from India to all the
Namaskar, sir.
participants.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
I am beholden to Professor Ranjan for giving me the opportunity to join.
Sir, we can't see you. Sir, we can't see you. You're not visible.
Okay, I'll try. Okay. So I am beholden to Professor Ranjan for giving me the opportunity to join all of you today.
So still we can't see you.
Okay, I don't know what to do. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Heartiest.
Earlier you were visible.
Okay.
You have to.
Heartiest,
Yeah.
heartiest congratulations, Professor Ranjan
Thank you, sir.
and your team for organizing this program so meticulously and bringing together a galaxy of academics. In 1989, when world population touched the mark of 5 billion, UNDP decided to observe July 11 as World Population Day. Purpose of celebrating World Population Day is to seek to focus attention on the urgency and importance of population issues, including their impact on environment, family planning, maternal health, human rights, and to foster discussion and raise awareness of possible consequences on population dynamics, socio-economic development, environment sustainability, and individual well-being. Every year, the theme of Population Day is different. This year's theme is Unleashing the Power of Gender Equality, uplifting the voices of women and girls to unlock infinite possibilities. A study of population is known as demography, and our Honorable Prime Minister has time and again emphasized on harnessing the benefit of India's demographic dividend. India today has world's largest number of youth, which needs to be utilized. In 1980, China came out with one child policy, which ended in 2016 when China realized that their working population was becoming old. Overpopulation gives rise to poverty, illiteracy, unemployment, and a lot of social issues. Mother Earth cannot carry the burden of huge population. John Grant, an English statistician, is considered to be the founder of science of demography. According to Indian scripture Matsya Puran, sage Manu was the first human being created by the union of Lord Brahma and Saraswati. Subsequently, out of union of Manu and his wife Ananti, produced other humans. As such, they are regarded as parents of the world. Hallmark of any progressive society is laying emphasis on gender equality. In India, women occupied a high status. Three categories of empowerment are education. Goddess of education is Saraswati. Number two, wealth. Goddess of wealth is Lakshmi. And three, power. Goddess of power is Durga. All women. Bharti, a great scholar and wife of Mimamsa scholar Mandan Mishra, was named as judge of the discourse between Adi Shankaracharya and Mandan Mishra. Kekai, wife of King Dasharath, was a great warrior and always accompanied her husband Raja Dasharath in wars. Rani Lakshmi Bai, a great freedom fighter, is revered by all of us. Swayamvar gave first right to women to choose her spouse. In India, no yajna could be completed till the wife joined the spouse. Since I have completed my time, I think I should stop. So, with these words, I conclude my presentation. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks, sir, for your insights and enthusiastic words and urgency and importance of population discussion and for raising the voice of awareness and environment sustainability. These all are necessary part, as you told us. Yes, in India, women occupied high status, goddess wealth, education, and power, all were females. And the same situation is on the way. Now we are upgrading up and up better than everyone. Thank you so much, sir, for praising all. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
So,
you. All the best.
thank you, sir, for sparing your time, sir. Thank you, sir. And now I am inviting our next guest of honor and keynote speaker, Dr. Anita Capris. Uh, are you there? Yes, yes. Welcome, ma'am. She is international poet, author, speaker, and metaphysical mentor, unemployment appeals and rare disease advocate. Dr. Anita is also a doctor of philosophy,
Hi everyone,
honoria
my name is
causa
Akshay.
recipient. She is founder of NGA Creative Thought Academy and music publishing, TAP and to you for world peace movement, empowerment through spoken word poetry. And from Anita and family, she has raised money to build a school in the Kondo B community. Thank you so much for sparing your time. Welcome, Dr. Anita. Has raised.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me? Because my mic wasn't working for a minute. I had to go out and come back. You can hear me? Okay, wonderful. All right. Well, I want to first say thank you so much, Professor Dr. Richa, the Institute, faculty, staff, and team. And I want to extend my reverence and respect to the chief guest, guest of honor, keynote, national, international delegates, all esteemed speakers, students, listening, and viewing audiences. Well, I just want to say I am so happy to be here to celebrate World Population Day with all of you. And my message pertains to SDG number 13. And, you know, while we have a big problem, there are little climate action steps we can make and take to make a big difference. Because, see, our planet, she needs our help to clear the atmosphere, to clear it of smog, free radicals, pollutants, and all of the other harmful things that we have attributed to as far as hurting her. And now that we have 8 billion people, we hurt her. Now, these 8 billion people, we can help her. We can help her heal. Every man, woman, and child, we can do little things to reduce our individual carbon footprint. Now, as we do it individually, when two began to get together, now we're starting a collective. So once if we all dedicate and devote and make a commitment in reducing our carbon footprint, then we can help her heal. We can help her heal. And as we help her heal, then we can also heal. And there are ways that we can do this. And I thought of just little simple things that we can do to make this happen. And I'm sure we're all familiar with the ways and means here. These are just gentle, simple reminders. And now through food, how we can reduce our carbon footprint through food. We can eat more fruits and vegetables, more grains and beans. We can reduce food waste. Eat what we get, what we need, and eat what we get. So and waste no food. We can also use reusable containers. Over and over. Now in the home, let's turn off the lights when they're not in use. I have a habit of sometimes, I'll walk around and look in my apartment where I live and say, oh, that light is there. Oh, and oh my gosh, I forgot to turn that light off. And these are just simple reminders. And I think, okay, remember, you're reducing your carbon footprint. You're helping the collective as an individual. We can unplug our appliances when we're not using them and recycle effectively. We can donate our old clothes. There's so many of us, what they say, one person's trash is another person's treasure. And we all have things that we can share with one another that we can use and appreciate and grow and learn, and as we share in this global community, because that's what we are. We're a global community. We're all a family of one. We can clean our email accounts. I enjoy that. It's fun for me. I have well, I'm being, facetious, but I have 1,000 emails. Let me say that. And I enjoy going onto my emails and cleaning them. I clean my spam, I clean the inbox, and then I clean my trash. That actually helps to reduce our carbon footprint. If you live in a home, a brick and mortar in a home, plant a tree if you can. If you're in an apartment like I am, get some plants. That helps the atmosphere, our air, and that helps our earth breathe much better. We can minimize using plastics, And then in shopping, when we're shopping, let's take along reusable cloth bags that we can put our items in. We can purchase those quality items. And my absolute favorite is vintage clothing. I love going to secondhand shops and buying secondhand clothing for myself, because they are always of such quality. That number two, purchase quality items. You go into a vintage store and you're going to find quality items. So I guess my point is here, as we individually reduce consciously, reduce our carbon footprint, and then we begin collectively reducing it, we're making a big difference, because, we do these little things, then it's going to make a big difference. And truth be told, we can talk about our dreams, our aspirations, our goals, our intentions, but I gotta say, without our planet, where do we go to grow and manifest those dreams? Without her, it's no point in even dreaming. So let's get together and be serious about this thing, make a true commitment, and let's guarantee that we say, you know what, we're going to take good care of our Mother Earth. Thank you so much for listening. I am Dr. Anita C. Powell. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anita. Earlier, I spoke that Dr. Anita is having captivating speaking skills and knowledge. So it was it. She makes the event lively. I've heard you many times. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Namaste, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now I'm inviting today's guest of honor, Miss Deepika Bahari. Deepika ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I am there. Yes, Richa,
Yeah.
I am there.
Yes.
Uh,
She is, I'll introduce you. She's president of UT Council Chandigarh Wiki, and she is the head of her digital company, Antrajal.
yes.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Richa, and very well said by Dr. Kaushik that it is a galaxy of academicians. And as I was amazed to hear, and I really forgot that yes, women once had the right of swambar. So that was a big reminder to me that women had the decision making power and the choosing power, but in between, I think we lost that.
Yes,
And
yes,
WICCI is doing the job of bringing back those powers to the females in the hands of the females. So,
yes.
being the guest of honor, I won't take much of the time, and I would like to hear the lovely speakers who all are waiting for their turn. And Dr. Anita, as usual, spellbound. You love listening to her, and her energy is so contagious. And Dr. Anita, by the way, I love your hair.
Yeah, beautiful.
So yeah, so yeah,
I've also seen first time. See,
yeah,
I've also
first time.
seen first
Yeah.
time.
So what's the secret? We'll just get connected on DM. You look beautiful as usual. And so the SDGs have always been very close to my heart. I have been working tirelessly on all the sustainable development goals. I have even worked with the Punjab government on running their digital campaigns for educating people on SDGs. So they have always been very close to my heart, and I would love to hear the speakers on what they have to say. All the best, Dr. Richa Ranjan, and beautifully put up.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Pika. And now, further, I'm going to invite our other guest of honor and keynote speaker, Dr. Patricia. Dr. Patricia, are you there? Dr. Patricia Gonde?
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, I'm in.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you,
Let's see.
thank you so much.
So
Just for me, I would just like to
let
thank
me
you so
introduce
much.
you. Let me
All
introduce
right.
you. Okay. 1 minute. Dr. Patricia is based educationist by the will of God and through determination and hard work. She has worked herself up the ladder in her career to head the academics department at a private school in Zimbabwe. She has 31 years of experience in teaching, and she is an author of motivational book Glide on Your Wings Like an Eagle, which can be sourced on Amazon. Dr. Patricia is a motivational speaker and global educator. She has won several awards on the global arena. She advocates for women empowerment and the girl child. Welcome, Dr. Patricia.
Thank you so much, Dr. Prof. Risha and WWCI for inviting me today to be talking about our world population. Sorry. As we all know that our population, especially here in Africa, I am from Africa, is booming, and there are so many. Let me just try to share my screen. Yeah. Can you see my screen? Hello, can you see
No,
my screen?
yes, yes, yes.
Ah, okay. It's only that. Sorry,
No, no.
something.
Some.
Not that one. Something happened. Yes, it's okay. Um, It's okay. I think I'm done. Okay. As we gather here today, celebrating World Population Day, it's an occasion that serves as a reminder of the challenges, of the achievements, of the milestones that we have in terms of related to global population. And as I am from Africa myself, yes, we also have got so many challenges that we face, but we also have achieved some milestones in terms of population. As we all know that Africa is the second largest continent in terms of both land mass, in terms of population. It has got a diverse, it has got a vibrant region that faces unique demographic dynamics, as you can see. And then with a rapidly growing population, we see that Africa is home to around 1.3 billion. But projections show that Africa by the year 2050, it would have doubled this number, 2050. And 2050 is only a few years, I think about 27 years from now, we would have doubled. And where are we going? So, as the population in Africa is growing, we have so many challenges that we face. And one of the greatest challenges Africa is facing is ensuring that its growing population has access to healthcare. When you're talking about healthcare, just going to the clinic to get that certain drug, even Panadol, even Pine Stop, for people who live with $1 a day, some cannot even afford that dollar a day. It's a nightmare. The resources, the equitable distribution as well of resources, because sometimes our non-governmental organizations, they chip in here and there, but because of the growing population, there's not equitable distribution of these resources. Let's think about maternal health. So many children have died. They have not seen the sun like what we did because maybe not due diligence was done, lack of drugs, lack of the healthcare, primary healthcare that is needed. Let's think of the mental health issues that are there. Do we have enough hospitals? Because of the population, we cannot. Think about urbanization. Our youths are coming from rural areas into town, and the towns become so populated. There's unemployment, and unemployment leads to mental health issues, drug abuse, and so forth. These are all caused by overpopulation. Let's think of education. So many children are being born each and every second. But our governments, our ministries, our communities, are we as individuals taking those initiatives to build a school? Yes, we can do. Last week I was at a workshop where one couple built a school in the rural areas. Now they've got 285. It's only the initiative that you need to think about. Sell it to the community. They make bricks, get some furniture, and a school has started, and you can have resources. So access to healthcare, access to education, employment problems are what we are facing, and the demand for these basic necessities are increasing on a daily basis, and it is very vital for us individuals coming together, collaborating, sharing ideas on what we are going to do so that we can meet these needs. And we need to invest in infrastructure, improving our healthcare systems, and expanding educational opportunities to everyone. These are crucial steps that we need to think about. And then furthermore, Africa has got so many challenges that I cannot say right now because of my time limit, but think of reproductive health, family planning. Those are some of the things that we can, as communities, teach all the women, teach all the girls, share our ideas on how to plan their families just by a word of mouth, even without investing any monies. Just go and share the benefits of having a small family. And then we are looking at even access to contraception. Think of the cultural barriers. We need to educate our women, because you find that when you are married, some men will say, I want 6 children, but are you thinking about how you're going to feed those children? Yes, we've got poverty because of population. So many problems come into play. So, to address these challenges as individuals, as communities, as we have come together right now, I thank you so much to Prof. Richard Rindem for organizing this, coming together. We need to have what we call international cooperation, help each other, collaborate, share ideas, share expertise. Right now, I was listening to Dr. Anita, get some advice, even in the home. What are we doing as families? And then it is very essential and for governments, non-governmental organizations, international agencies to come up together and develop sustainable solutions that can help, especially in problem of overpopulation. In conclusion, World Population Day serves as a reminder for all of us that yes, we do have challenges and achievements related to global populations, but we need to take action, not to sit down and just not do anything. As we celebrate, let us also not forget about the unique challenges that we are facing as continents, is in the world, with the rapidly growing populations in our homes. Together, we can create a brighter future for our Africa, for Zimbabwe, for the world. We need to come together. Bill Gates says, by improving health, empowering women, population growth comes down. Thank you. Over to you, our moderator.
Thank you, Dr. Patricia. Our moderator is connected, but I think so. She's not over here. So, okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for bringing insights about the quality education. And you have discussed about the issues of a population, which population is facing is healthcare, education, employment, food, resource distribution, and all. Yeah, these are the main issues which our population is facing. And you are doing much work in education field, which is priceless. This is due to education. We all are meeting. We all are connected over here on this platform. Thanks to this
Yes.
education. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Anita.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Now I'm inviting Miss Michelle. Michelle, are you there?
Yes, hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she's having global recognition and she'll introduce herself and she'll speak few words for us. Thank you. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank, thank you, Professor Dr. Richa, for inviting me to this amazing platform. I'm getting so much information and insight, and I thank you so much, and to all the esteemed guests. Today, I want to talk about SDG number 5, gender equality. Now, I pulled something from the UN's website where they speak about gender equality. They say advancing gender equality is critical to all areas of a healthy society, from reducing poverty to promoting the health, education, protection, and well being of all. So there's a lot of things, a lot of barriers to gender equality. And the one I want to highlight today is unconscious bias. So, what is unconscious bias? That's the belief systems and thoughts that we have surrounding women and children. And we usually get these different belief systems either from images or messages or maybe even our experiences. But however, these unconscious bias can oftentimes are incorrect and they cause us to have an inaccurate view when it comes to women and children. So, how can we dismantle unconscious bias? Right? First, we can start with ourselves, right? Understand how these unconscious biases, within us, ourselves, how they affect how we interact with women and children. And also, how does the society, right? Start watching how society interacts with women and children. Because when we have these inaccurate, unconscious biases, we oftentimes hold women, children back from education. Will ice them out of promotions. Will keep them unpaid or underpaid, I should say, or house them or pigeonhole them into certain gender roles. So we can, our first step is to actually look within ourselves, right? And ask ourselves, the way I view myself as a woman, or my wife, or my sister, or my daughter, what are my views about them when it comes to equality, or when it comes to seeing them as equal as a man? We're both in this world, maybe in different, I like to say, human suits, but we both come to express, to the connectionness and the love and the advancing of humankind, because we can't do one without the other. And then this next step that we can do to disrupt unconscious bias is to express empathy, understand what the other gender, when it comes to women and women and girls, understand what we're going through, what we're facing, and try to help dismantle this. When we come together collectively as men and women, and we fight for the sake, well, not fight, but try to advance for this whole humanity and for this earth, we can become very extremely powerful. And so let's work together to make gender equality a global standard, and therefore we won't have to fight or tear down each other trying to scrape and scrap for the same thing. So I thank you for your time, and thank you, Dr. Professor Richa, and everyone that's on the platform today.
Thank you, Michelle. Yes, let's work together for gender equality. We all are over here discussing it. Thank you so much. Now we are having our most awaited speaker, keynote speaker, Dielton Ribro from Brazil. Welcome, sir. Sir is an esteemed professor at the University of Ituana. His dedication to education and expertise in his field make him an invaluable asset, shaping the minds of future generation. So we want to hear about you, not for 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes, as you are professor in the university. You can relate the topic very well. So thank you so much and welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to give my heartfelt greetings for Dr. Chavi Sharma and also for you, Richa Rajan, Dr. Ranjan. Thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to stay here in this day of World Population Day. And also greetings for the Law College of Pankula, Chandigarh. Well, the topic that I'm going to talk, it's about decent work and economic growth, which is related to the Sustainable Development Goal 8, which means promote, sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. The SDG 8 specifically focuses on creating conditions for productive and decent work, fostering entrepreneurship and innovation, and ensuring equal opportunities for all individuals to access quality employment. By exploring and researching aspects related to decent work and economic growth, as a professor, I can contribute to promoting sustainable economic development and improving the well being of individuals and communities. Some key areas that fall under this SDG include employment creation, studying strategies and policies that foster job creation, particularly in sectors that promote sustainable economic growth and provide decent work opportunities. Also, labor rights and social protections, analyzing and advocating for fair labor practices, including ensuring access to social protection measures, fair wages, and safe working conditions for all workers. Economic empowerment, investigation, investigating approaches to enhance economic empowerment, especially for marginalized groups, through skills development, entrepreneurship support, and financial inclusion, and also sustainable business practices, examining the integration of sustainability principles into business operations, such as adopting environmentally friendly practices, promoting responsible supply chains, and considering the social impact of businesses. Well, also income inequality and poverty reduction, investigating strategies to reduce income inequality and eradicate poverty through inclusive economic growth and equitable distribution of resources and target interventions to uplift disadvantaged communities. And for the last, sustainable tourism and job creation, exploring the potential of sustainable tourism as a driver of economic growth and employment. Well, with these words, the time is very short. Once again, I would like to say my thanks for the organization. It's a pleasure as a representative of Brazil to stay in this prestigious event. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for an incredible, informative, and engaging presentation. And your depth of knowledge on this subject was truly impressive. We want to hear you again, and we'll be inviting you again, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I will return with pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Now I welcome Dr. Nitski Nakoko, the founder and director of Power to Lead with Integrative, who is dedicated to driving leadership and integrative initiatives in South Africa. Her efforts inspire individuals to lead with integrity and make a positive difference in their communities. Welcome, welcome, Nakoko. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Prof. and Dr. Rekha Rajan. And thank you for this kind opportunity to make sure that you touch the globe when you do a wonderful program. And this, I see it as us leading from the heart. So, my topic for today is lift the spirit of Ubuntu for global partnerships and leadership. Ubuntu means humanitarian. I want to speak on this because there is one word that I would love for us to focus on in this 5 minutes for me. It's integrity. Why power to lead with integrity? It is because all leaders, as we look at celebrating the World Population Day, have the power to lead. But let's look for a minute and ask ourselves one question. Do they all lead with integrity? And what does integrity mean to all of us as leaders? Be it we are leaders of the countries, of organizations, of homes, of communities, leading oneself, first of all, leading ourselves with integrity. Why I pick up that we should be leading with love and from the heart is that if Leadership is not including love and focused and coming from the heart, from spirit of Ubuntu humanitarian, taking care of yourself first before you can even think you are a leader to go and lead other people. We would never be able to inspire other people if we do not have love for ourselves first. If we love self, we love our passion, our purpose, and what we do. It comes automatically to wake up in the morning and not even to strategize much, but to put in our strategies tactics. Now, I want to bring in the leadership transformation of Ubuntu with aid. Aid meaning A, accountability, I, integrity, D, deliverables. Because at the end of the day, in 5 minutes, what are my deliverables in this World Population Day? So, accountability is that each and every leader, let's take the charge that after this program, what are our accountabilities to ourselves, to our communities, to our population? Now, God, the human divine spirit, has shown us his divine love by populating the globe. This is love. This is how he shows us love. Whatever we call him, divine Holy Spirit, Almighty God, whatever, but he is God. He created us with his love. He shows us the globe. But now, how are we receiving that love? And how are we serving him back? So, our integrity to receive that love is now the world is populating more than 8 billion people. How are we serving them? The integrity is that if we serve with love and goodness and kindness, people will rejoice. But if we serve with iron, fist, we serve people with, things that are unbecoming of leading other people and not show love, inspiration. Leaders lead with inspiration. They don't lead with forcing people to manage them. Once you inspire, they flow, they follow you. That charisma flow with them. And now it comes to our deliverables. Our deliverable is that people must rejoice. If people are happy, people will follow you. People will vote for you. People will lead with that integrity. What we populate, we show off as well, is that human spirit, spirit of Ubuntu. Let us all show it. Let us spread it in this World Population Day so that our strategies that we put for economic growth will also populate with being receptive and being received well to those that we show it to. In an organization, if the CEO leads from the heart, people flow and love that CEO. But if the CEO starts with not respecting people, integrity is also to respect the empathy, understanding people that you lead and lead. People come first in an organization. It is not the structures and the strategies that come first. People, because they are the ones who are going to be leading, and then the flow comes. So our PPPs should be really on that principle of loving people, and we bring in all the purpose of loving people and the passion of loving people. Then people will love us and we will lead. And this World Population Day will populate love with integrity. That's the power to lead. Thank you so much, Prof. I really appreciate the opportunity to serve.
Thank you. We deeply respect your words and contribution to various fields and what you discussed over here. about our accountability. Yeah, it is questioned. Yes, we are populating the globe and our deliverables. So we are blessed to hear you today, and you have shared your thoughts. Very nice. Thank you. Now,
Thank you.
thank you. Now I am inviting our next keynote speaker, Ambassador Mehajabeen Pradhan Faiza. She is CEO and founder at Petals Organic Care, writer, an entrepreneur, author, social wellness thinker, and motivational speaker, columnist, so much. Feza, Daily Observer in English newspaper, appreciated by World Book of Records of London, international award winners for youth leadership and wellness, speaker and thinker, global peace ambassador, Calgary Book USA, ambassador of BFC, ambassador and BE, and DMD, and much more. She is from Bangladesh. Welcome, Feza. Welcome, Feza. We want to hear you now.
Thank you very much, Professor Doctor, for having me and inviting me in this wonderful summit with all these amazing leaders from across the globe. I was listening to all of them. They all just said pretty much we all are working towards the same goal and we all have same cause. So today I will reflect on SDG 9, industry innovation and infrastructure. So, as and the world population, maybe later on I will just put few points from my observation. So, industry is the production of goods or related services within an economy. Innovation is a new idea, device, or method. Infrastructure refers to the fundamental facilities and systems serving a country, city, or area, including the service and facilities necessary for its economy to function properly for the growth by maintaining the sustainability that which we all are focusing on now. So goal 9 seeks to build resilient infrastructure, promote sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Economies with a diversified industrial sector and strong infrastructure sustained less damage and are experiencing faster recovery. On the other hand, it is known as 4.0 innovations industry, also everyone called for this, which is next phase in the digitalization of the manufacturing sector, driven by disruptive trends including the rise of data and connectivity, analytics, human machine interaction, and improvements in the robotics. Innovation plays a key role in introducing novelty to existing product lines or process, leading to increased market share, revenue, and customer satisfaction. Sometimes innovation is used to upgrade the operating system of the business or to introduce modern technologies for automation. As we all are striving towards artificial intelligence in near future, it will grow even more than we could think of at this moment. So what can we do for industry innovation and infrastructure? How to improve industry innovation and infrastructure in terms of SDG, the expenses in research by different countries, which is very important. The issue of internet access, that could be a great part to emphasize on. Finance projects that have the goal to build roads, schools, business, finance social entrepreneurs, non-profit organizations, invest in innovation and new technologies. How we can actually improve industry innovation by keeping that in our mind for SDG. The ninth goal of the 2030 UN Agenda is to build resilient infrastructure to promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization and foster innovation. Moreover, the goal also promotes investment in scientific research and equal universal access to the internet. I think if all can have the access and ability to go have internet, so it will become much more easier whatever the idea and concept you develop to reach in a mass level. And number two, in other words, it benefits the economic growth of a country, as sustainable industrialization is responsible for lifting communities out of poverty, which the whole world is actually facing more or less. Additionally, with billions of dollars spent each year on growth and infrastructure, SDG 9 highlights the importance of innovative sustainable technology to reduce environmental footprint, employ clean technologies without causing additional pressure on people and on the environment. On the other hand, many developing countries are at a disadvantage as they suffer from a lack of access to new technologies which directly affect their economic growth and social development. And sometimes these issues could cause a mental dissatisfaction as well. So everything is interconnected. Basic information, communication, technologies, sanitation, electricity, water continue to be searched in many developing countries. The expense in research by different countries, I think we should highlight on this. This should be the great opportunities to reach people, and we could overcome all these issues right now we all are facing, because barely almost 2.2 billion people do not have that access to drink clean water, and more than 4.2 billion people do not have access to adequate sanitation. On top of that, most of the developing regions spend less than 1% of GDP on research and development. Compared to developed countries that had the proportion of global GDP invested in research and development increased from 1.61 to 1.70% in 2018. Also in 2018, the share of medium and high technology manufacturing in total manufacturing was 49% in developed countries and 41.4% in some developing countries. On the other hand, in the least developing countries, it was only 8.9%. These numbers reinforce the challenges that the least developed countries are dealing with the achieving SDG. So my whole purpose was to highlighting on this that the entire world should come together and to uh, look on that disbalance of, some nations are going to very basic needs, like earlier another previous speaker mentions they don't have proper education, health help in Nigeria, for the children and the women. So I think we all should come together and organize all these issues with a framework so that we all can coexist and live properly with the whole. At current growth rates, it would take 10 years to bring internet access to these 3.1 billion people, highlighting the importance of governments and companies to take actions related to these issues. Those people who are disconnected from the internet are cut off from exercising a broad range of human rights, because all this Zoom meeting or StreamYard, the way we all are reaching and we're spreading this awareness, half of the people, they even don't know what we are doing and what for we are talking, voicing all these issues. So I think it's very important to educate those people and manage to reach internet access. Mm, so, and expression opinions, they don't know anything about it. So we should, maybe we could emphasize on that. 2030 is getting closer, and together comes the deadline to achieve these goals. However, there is still much to do so the world can go in the right direction. Therefore, governments and also private companies must provide funds for investments in research that I personally would like to emphasize on infrastructure, inclusive and sustainable industrialization. How companies can actually promote industry by maintaining SDG, achieving that we all are looking for, difficult process, and a lot of players will need to take action in order to make sustainable progress. Finance project that have the goal to build roads, school, business, this is also very important. So if we can educate and the youth mind, I think we can overcome all these issues in time. And my last point here, that invest in innovation and new technologies and research, as it takes time and effort to develop new technologies. Investing in innovation will help to make progress affordable for everyone. In other words, our company or a small company who are working, I think we can provide and go for by government and private sector to see how these ideas of every individual's movement are connected or related to serve the purpose of SDG. As innovation is important, as we are progressing, half of the world is progressing, and half, one third world is even not aware of all these things. So I don't think we can progress towards much more further without having the entire world towards that journey. So these are the point I would like to emphasize on and bring that awareness from all the nations to come together and work on it. And another thing, that original year is a how I should say it, that pollution, that climate changes, all these issues are everywhere that we are facing, and natural disaster. The world is actually suffocating due to the overpopulation, as we are celebrating World Population Day. So I will highlight few points from here. How, just a second. Do I have time, or am I taking too long?
Yes, yes. No, you have time.
All right. Just a moment. Okay. So, as we already know, in the list population, mostly the 11 country has peaked their highest level. From there, we, USA, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nigeria, these are the countries they actually cross the line. And for this overpopulated nation, now if you go to the United Nations recent statement on the global population, it's like it's not good or it's not bad. We cannot say any of this. It's like bursting out with lot of promises and hope for 8 billion or 8.7 billion people of the world. So it's quite alarming and dangerous to think even about that. Therefore, now people are talking about we need to control population. So suddenly we cannot come up with this idea and putting into people's mind, especially most people. They are not aware of it. They won't be able to adapt that concept and idea to control birth or take care of it. I think this is a very most important point and issue. Every organization and we all should voice it so that they at least know the reason. The world, the planet is dying. It needs to breathe. It needs space. So, the same way, the life we also need to breathe. The kind of problem we are here, we are just stuck. It's like go no go theory. Neither we can die, neither we can vanish, neither we can fix it over the night. So I think it would be a great way to reach mass people, because mass people needed to know, they need to be aware of it to control that birth. On the other hand, the issues that I am feeling, there are some countries, for example, if I pick Canada, right now they have senior citizen more than the youth, so they are suffering into that. That is another problem. Now look at Japan. They try to control, they try to slow it down, but right now they are also going through another issues. The way they plan, it is going to hit in next 5-10 years so rapidly. It is like no return from that disaster. So if a nation fall apart from the balanced population, that country could collapse anytime. Without a proper balance of population, our existence could disappear into the thin air. So I think we all need to emphasize on that and bring that personal awareness and government all together to our people and over how we can overcome these issues. So I want to thank you all and all my beautiful, gorgeous fellow panelists and dear professor. Thank you very much for having me in this wonderful summit. Thank you.
Thanks, Feza. Yes, world is really suffocating with overpopulation. Well said. Your passion for the subject matter was evident in every word you spoke. Your enthusiasm was really contagious and left us with feeling inspired and motivated. You addressed human rights as well, and I am also very fan of human rights. I'm advocate of human rights. I'm into awareness plans and advocating about it. So I was happy to hear from you that you also like to be the part of human rights. And thanks, thanks for the presentation for today. And now I am inviting our first Indian speaker. From last 1 hour and 15 minutes, we had all the international delegates. Now, after Indian delegate, we'll be having Ambassador Sampal Duganda from Nepal. But now I'm inviting one of the Indian delegate, that is Mrs. Uh, Gitika Gulati. Gitika, are you there, Miss Gitika?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Yes. Yeah. She is best educationist. She is promoting STEM education, and she is dear to all the students. What I've heard, she encourages students for the participation in every field, and she explains her subject into such a manner that they are fan of her. I've heard about her so much. She make everyone feel involved and ensure that the session, I think she'll create such an impression over here, the session will be truly impactful. Welcome, Gitika.
Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste, the proper Indian style.
Yeah.
So it's actually a pleasure to actually present to such dignitaries and present my views to such people who are an expert in their own fields. So it gives me immense pleasure actually to be here. So since we are all here discussing sustainable development, I'd like to start with a quotation that definitely will leave you thinking for longer times. So I'll start with my quotation, and it says, gender equality is more than a goal in itself. It is a precondition for meeting the challenge of reducing poverty, promoting sustainable development, and building good governance. Even the moment I read this quotation, it actually left me thinking that where are we heading, and what exactly are we pursuing for the next few years that are coming ahead of us, and what legacy are we going to leave to the children of our globe? What minds are we leaving? What thoughts are we leaving up to them? So, starting with it, basically, I'm here to discuss gender equality, as my quotation already would have definitely stated. So, gender equality is not only a fundamental human right, but it also is a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and obviously sustainable world. There have been progresses over the last decades, but the world is not on exactly on the same track as it can be to achieve gender equality, not even by 2030. We're not even looking at it. So the social and economic fallout from the COVID-19, the pandemic has definitely affected each one of us. And this pandemic has made this situation even bleaker. This progress that we are actually thinking of that achieving in the upcoming years, it actually hasn't made any step forward. So it includes time that we spend on the unpaid care of the domestic work, the decision making regarding the sexual reproductive health, and the gender responsive budgeting. We are failing behind in a lot of sectors. Basically, one of the most neglected factors is the women health services. We have very less funding for the same. We've already been facing a lot of disruptions in the same section, and then again comes the demon. It is the violence against women. It remains the endemic of the world forever. So, despite women's leadership in responding to COVID 19, we are still trailing men. in securing the decision making position. You know, we deserve better, but definitely we are falling behind and we are following more than making the decisions. So, commitment and bold actions definitely are required to accelerate the process. And these include promotion of laws, policies, budgets, and institutions that definitely advance the factor of gender equality. You know, the greater investment in gender statistics is vital. Since less than half the data is required to monitor goal 5, you know, we actually have half the data of what we exactly need for the same. Let me introduce you to some facts and figures that I've collected over time. And let me start. In 2021, a survey was conducted in 13 countries. And it makes me sad to know that 45% of women reported that they or a woman they know has experienced some form of violence since the pandemic. In 2021, nearly one in every five young women were married before the age of 18 because the families were afraid. 35% and 28% of young women were married in childhood, respectively, in sub Saharan Africa and Southern Asia, definitely for the area. And the global prevalence of child marriage has declined, yes, about 10% in the past 5 years, one plus to go. Up to 10 million more girls are likely to become child brides by 2030 due to the effects of the COVID pandemic. In addition to the 100 million girls projected to be at risk before the pandemic. You know, it's an addition. Women's share basically is slightly over one third in local governments. Moving ahead, with at least 200 million girls and women today have been subjected to female genital mutilation, mainly in 31 countries. You know, the list can definitely continue for a longer time and definitely won't end at any section that we want. But I'd like to report two more incidents that have contributed definitely. One will be between 2007 and 2021. 57% of women aged 15 to 49 who are married or in a union made by their own choice, they made their own informed decisions regarding sexual relations, contraceptive. They use reproductive health care that is not well equipped. You know, addressing the issues is not the only thing that we will be doing today. You know, we need to understand the value and definitely head towards the exact goal that we want to achieve. Women are not only the hardest hit by this pandemic, they are also the backbone in the recovery of the communities. We have been participating very actively, and we are putting women and girls at the center of economies will definitely fundamentally drive better and more sustainable development outcomes for all of us. You know, it will support a rapid recovery, the place the world back on a, you know, it'll place the world back on a footing to achieve the sustainable development goals, not just the gender equality, all the other 16 goals as well. So every COVID-19 response plan and every recovery package and budgeting of resources needs to address the gender impacts of this pandemic. It needs to be discussed. Let's bring the topic on the table. It has been ignored for a very long time now. You know, this means including women and women's organization in planning and decision making. Point two, we need to transform the inequities of unpaid care. You know, we need to work into a new inclusive care economy that works for everyone, not just one gender. Third thing that we can do is designing socio-economic plans with an international or intentional focus, both internationally and obviously within the country. We need to focus on the lives and futures of women and girls. UN Women has developed a rapid and targeted response to mitigate the impact of the COVID 19 crisis on women and girls. And definitely to ensure the long term recovery, the benefits that we are focusing on is gender based violence, including domestic violence, it will be mitigated and reduced if we include women more. Then we are aiming for social protection and economic stimulus packages where we serve women and girls. Next, we are aiming for people who will support and practice equal sharing of care work. You know, men actually globally, they are considered to be. It's considered to be like a taboo when a man is being the caregiver. Women and girls are more expected to be the caregivers of the family. But we need to understand to liberate women, we need to liberate men as well. You know, women are not the only ones who need to be liberated. We are actually in a confusion whether to liberate the men or women. So this is not about just women empowerment. This is about gender equality. We need to liberate the men as well. Moving ahead, what we need to address right now is we need to move on and head on to a goal where women are in focus and definitely taking men along. No one is heading ahead, no one is lagging behind. We're all moving together, shoulder in shoulders. So I'll just bring my words to an end with a small quotation, which I think actually is meant to spread positivity. Gender equality, it's not a woman's issue, it is a human issue. It affects all of us. So I'll